Oh! Oh! Hey, how are you all? There's a little bit of... Oh, where's Sandy Nelson when you need him? Hey, my name is Chris Quinlan and welcome to Melbourne Musos Live. I'm taping this on the 17th of October, and before I even start, we all found out this morning that Ace Frehley has gone to the great gig in the sky after a nasty fall in his studio a little while ago, a couple of days or whatever it was, a week ago, and I have a lot of friends who are very, very sad. So this show is dedicated to one Ace Frehley, his family, friends, fans around the world. It's a real shock. And there you go. But carry on. All right. Now, what I did then is one of the most pervasive rhythms in the world. It's known by many names, depending on what country and region you're in. And I call it the world rhythm. In my book one, I call it the world rhythm. Very popular name is the Calypso. So what you have is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. There you go. Now what it is that isn't the lesson tonight. That isn't the show. I'm just going to use it throughout the show to demonstrate Plan B. Okay. Why am I thinking Plan 9 from outer space? In space, no one can hear you drum. There you go. Oh, they can't all be zingers. But what goes on is I'm going to use I'm going to call it the Calypso rhythm. I'm going to use the Calypso rhythm to demonstrate how you can change things up when you need to, depending on the circumstance of the rhythm or the song, you see. Now, when I'm doing it on the floor tom, okay, what I'm doing there is a single stroke roll, you see. So you get right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then you have the accents in. The accent setup is 3, 3, and 2, you see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. There you go. Put in a humble 2 feel. Not too fast. There it is, there you see. Now, that is a single stroke roll. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So essentially the accents in the most basic of ways is right, left to right, right, left to right, right, left to right, right. First thing you can do it with the left hand start. Left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. There you go. Now something I want to get into is you're in a band. It's a pervasive rhythm. It's used everywhere. And the first thing you can do, well, hit your cymbals with it. Do you see? So what happens is that you could be just going. However, the composer of the song said, play that one. You can't very well go. Don't even try. So you change the sticking. So what you would do is instead of a single stroke roll, you might go, put the accents on the right hand. So it'll be right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. You see? Put it over there. Add a bass drum to it. Left hand here. What you can do then is move it around, you see. So you get that. Why not move the left hand? But why not move them both? Here we go. There you go, you see. Stir in the pot. There you go. Now, what often happens also is that you can use, I'm using the Calypso rhythm. I'm going plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and there you go, if you've just tuned in. So what starts to happen is that you can use the accents and then add things. Now, if I'm going to go into, say, a jazz thing, right, left, left, puts the accent on the main beat, and a right, right, left puts it on the one and ba, you see. Now, if you do it very slowly, you get, I'll put it up here, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, ba, you see, ba, ba. I used to hear Buddy Rich all the time with this. I might put it up here later on, but when I was coming up, dear old Dad was a subscriber to Reader's Digest, and he used to just tick the box for all these little box set. Oh, some of them, everyone's cocktail favourite. But he's got one, and I kept it Swing Hits, and that's when I first heard Buddy Rich doing things like Hawaiian War Chant with Tommy Dorsey. And he'd start off like toms. They used to call it jungle drums. Then right, left, left, right, right, left. Get it? Got it?
Good.
There you are. There it is there. Now, when you're actually doing that, I'll do a two feel. You'd be forgiven for doing a New Orleans second line rhythm with it, you see. And there you go. And that's by adding in, you triplematizing it. There you go. Now, when you're doing, say, just a standard rock beat, break. Then you're starting to split it up, you see. So what starts to go on is you might be going so your accents are with the hands, and the remainder is with your bass drum. So on it goes. I'll do that again. But if you did both hands, oh, who's thinking Led Zepp, rock and roll? That's not the rhythm for it, but what it is both hands here. Oh, there you go. There you are. So what starts to go on is now you have a figure where you've got both hands. If you're doing it both together, that starts to get into your sort of Texan kind of blues and a little bit of Zydeco and all sorts of different things, you see. And that's what goes on there. Sometimes you're asked to play a rock beat, but not. Might be. Train beat. I do that often. But what this lesson is all about is the plan B. What happens if someone asks you to do something and it's out of your comfort zone? You know your Calypso, I'm using that as the foil, as the beat of the night to demonstrate it, but that's not the lesson. The Calypso is not the lesson. The actual lesson is how to get new things going, you see. Sometimes specific things are asked of you, like I did before. Like I said, I'll just recap. You can't very well, with a Calypso, and someone really likes that cymbal, you can't very well go. That's a bit silly. Just change the sticking. Foot. There it is, you see. You can double it up with the aforementioned. Now you could do other things. You could put it on the hi-hat. Now you can see that I'm actually putting the accents on the bass drum, and I'm using the ostinato. I'm putting the hi-hat on 2 and 4, so I've got right, left, both, right, left, both, right, left, both, right, left, both. Single stroke roll on the hi-hat. And you'll hear that a lot in Africa, Soukous rhythm, S-O-U-K-O-U-S. And what I've done is I've put the Calypso, the Soukous accents, like I said from the get-go, many names for this beat. And what starts to happen is that all of a sudden you're hearing it with the Soukous music of Africa and stuff. Wonderful stuff. And there you go. To the point where that, and you've also got Zydeco, like I said before, Zydeco being a kind of rhythm that's used in the southern states of America, Louisiana and all that stuff. Who remembers Zydeco Jump from the 80s and the 90s? Great Melbourne band, played at the Espy so often. And also people like Paul Simon with the Graceland album and Rhythm of the Saints and stuff used to get into all this sort of business. It's wonderful. But what it is you change the rhythm up depending on what you want, you see. So I've done rock and roll. I've done jungle drums, as it was known. I've done a bit of Sandy Nelson. There you go. Now, what starts to happen is with this idea, you're going to get asked to do things that, as I said just a little while ago, that are out of your comfort zone, but you want to keep the accents, you see. So what you can do is you can put the accents on different places. You don't really want this. You want to keep it open. So it's you're putting the accents now on the left hand and filling in with your right. This is, for me, improvisation. But what it is all of a sudden I went left hand a little bit there, you see. So, ooh. And sometimes you need to be able to do it in strange places. And about, I don't know, 5 episodes ago I did the Alexander technique where, you might be in an awkward position, but you still have to pump out an acceptable rhythm, you see. And you get the idea there. All right. Oi! And then you start putting in different things like so, you see, with double bass drum or whatever it might be. And therefore, you can start to think in terms of if you've got You've got a little bass drum curl, like a little 4-stroke ruff. Something like that. Then you can overlap it with the lick of the century. Oh, lick of the century, as I said. I'll show you the lick of the century. What it is 3 notes, repeated. Okay, different variations. But the reason I call it the lick of the century is when I was coming up, oh, can you do that John Bonham thing? Can you do that Ian Pace thing? And if you couldn't do it, you were nothing. Nothing. So I started to call it lick of the century because everyone loves it, you see. And all it is the easiest way to explain it is right, left foot, you see. Then put the hi-hat in as well. Get it?
Can you get it? Got it. Good.
There you go. All right. So that's what starts to happen, you see. Okay, so I better get a wriggle on, I suppose. But what starts to go on is that with all the different variations, what have I done? I think I'm halfway through the alphabet, aren't I? Plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Element of P. Oh. Once again, the Calypso is the central rhythm, but it's not the lesson. It's the Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Someone's going to ask you to do something that's going to be stumpify you, if that's a word. Oh, I'm a bit stumped. What am I going to do? You know, that kind of thing. And there's many different examples of all of this biz. One of the things that I've noticed of the current crop of hit singles around the world and all that is that one Dua Lipa seems to love the Calypso rhythm, and therefore you've got that kind of I'm not doing Dua Lipa anymore. I'm starting to get into more funky business, Mr. Steve Gadd and stuff like that. So what starts to happen is that it isn't just chops or fill-ins, it's all of them. But what happens is when you're dealing with things like a single stroke roll, and this is what I did for the last episode, is that you can take, say, the Calypso, right, left, right, left, right, here, and then there you go. So you could put in a normal bit of a funky rock beat. And boom, 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 boom. Yeah, boom, boom, what was that? Sacked. There you go. Boom. Ooh, something like that. Ooh, there you go. I better get a wriggle on, hadn't I? Ooh. Now all of that, what was that flurry, is keeping spaces open. So you might be going, then, like I said, different plans, you see. So what starts to happen is that you've got all these different things that you can do with a certain kind of rhythm, or for that matter, style. Even within me talking about the Calypso, it becomes something else if you put it in a different place, right? Sukos from Africa. You see? What's the song off of Songs from the Deaf? Queens of the Stone Age. There you go. All sorts of different things. I did that off the cuff, but that's another one where so on. Do you see? Okay, there you go. Now, what goes on with this is, once again, by being able to change things around, starting off with a single stroke roll. Right, left, 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 right. And then you can put the accents with the right hand. Left hand. All these options. And every time you change the option, change the sound, you're starting to move into a kind of a different style. If I'm going to do this, Sandy Nelson, king of surf drumming. If I do it here, very frenetic Zydeco, all that sort of wonderful stuff. New Orleans second line. Oh, just by changing that and doing different things with it, you see. I can do different things, like I brought in the two bass drums. Something like that. Now I'm just flogging about. I might chop that bit out. Oh, look at the century. Might finish off with this. One of the things I have to do sometimes when I'm doing soundtracky and things with the piccolos over here, I might split myself in half, but underneath is the ostinato. So I'm mixing things up now. A bit of a double stroke roll. Of destiny. Okay, so once again, what it is I've been using the Calypso rhythm, the world rhythm, as a foil, something to use for the real title of tonight, Plan B. And what happens is, how many ways can you play a rhythm? And all of a sudden you're changing things around to suit whatever song or piece of music you might be playing. My name is Chris Quinlan. This is all about Plan B, as I said, using the Calypso rhythm, known by so many names. I tried to cover many different styles while I was doing the Plan B. And once again, to just reiterate, this show is dedicated to one Ace Frehley, because I'm doing this on the day that everybody found out that he passed away. So I dedicate this show to him, and to my friends who are feeling a bit sad at the moment, of course. And essentially, what this show is about love, sharing. And it's something, sometimes, sometimes you're up against things, something happens and it kills your day. And then you get behind the drums and there's light, Oh, so on that note,